The Archive British Diesel and Electric series of videos is a collection of shots from the British Railways era of non-steam traction. As with volumes 1 and 2, we'll be looking at some of the rarer locomotives seen at this time, as well as the more mundane run-of-the-mill engines. We hope to provide something for everyone. We begin where we left off at the end of volume 2, with Class 52 diesel hydraulic number D1006 at Snow Hill. The engine had come back to Birmingham with the return working of the daily Pullman service. It was the early 1960s. Another member of the same class. This is D1000 Western Enterprise at Wolverhampton Low-Level Station in desert sand livery. Still at Wolverhampton, Western Talisman is seen reversing the stock of this passenger train. And D1001, Western Pathfinder, another class member to enter service in this red livery, still at Wolverhampton. All these shots were taken in the very early days of the Class 52s. Back even further in time, this is 10202 at Stafford. When first put into traffic, she was more often than not seen working in tandem with sister locomotive number 10201. The line to Southam Cement Works via Marton Junction closed in 1984. This Class 25, number 25072, is seen leaving Bilton, heading for the works shortly before the line closed. Same day and the same engine, now having returned from the cement works, is seen departing from Marton Junction to return to Rugby. This EMU was at Long Buckby. As was this parcels unit. Another EMU, still at Long Buckby. And this Class 25 is seen at Greaves Sidings between Leamington Spa and Banbury in 1983, shortly before the semaphores were replaced by colour light signals. Peaks were fairly rare on this line, but towards the end of their careers, they turned up on several of these coal trains. Class 20s, however, were a much more common sight and appeared on the line well into the 1980s. The Blue Circle Shunter, still at Greaves Sidings. This shunter was replaced a year or so after these shots were taken, and its successor remained at the works until complete closure in the early 1990s. This was a Class 52 Western diesel hydraulic on an up passenger train at Fenny Compton. And a Class 47 on an up freight. Also at Fenny, this Class 33 had been summoned to rescue a failed peak, which had been propelled into the up loop by a Class 47. A pair of Class 37s on an up passenger working stood at Fenny Compton. Followed by a light Class 50. This Class 50 was filmed at Claydon, just south of Fenny Compton. The signal box at Claydon has now gone, and when these shots were taken in 1983, it had only a few weeks left as a working box. The next few shots were all taken at this rural Oxfordshire outpost during that summer of 1983. Sit back and enjoy the wide variety of diesel workings which could be seen on the Oxford to Birmingham line at this time. Class 25 plus breakdown was at Mollington, a few miles south of Claydon. Even further south, this is the signal box at Banbury North Junction. At one time it controlled trains running to and from the Great Central, but by this time it was just a block post. It too was removed soon after these shots were taken. Away from the western region and onto the eastern, this is 55003 Mel near Welwyn. Also at Welwyn, we see 55022, the Royal Scots Grey. The Black Watch was at Peterborough. As was Class 31, number 31314. And this Class 37, number 37099. These shots were all taken in January 1979. A much earlier shot on the eastern region was this one of the Prince of Wales' own regiment, seen at King's Cross. Back into the blue era, but still at King's Cross, this is Tullier. When electrification of the West Coast Main Line was taking place in the early 1960s, many passenger trains were diverted from Birmingham's New Street station to its great western adversary, Snow Hill. This brought many unusual visitors, like these Class 40s. On the same day, we see the relatively unusual pairing of diesel and steam on a train. This Class 81 electric was seen at Nuneaton. Even further back in time, to the late 1950s, and some early workings of the Class 31s in North London. Class 26 in this shot had more than 30 years service ahead of her at this time. She ended her days in Scotland. Not so rosy a future ahead for the Type 2 North British Class 29s. All were withdrawn by the early 1970s, having been a very unreliable and troublesome locomotive type. This is the Metro Camel Blue Pullman. These London Transport 1400 horsepower electric locomotives used to work trains on the Metropolitan line from Liverpool Street Station to the Aylesbury line, where they were replaced by steam locomotives. When these shots were taken in the late 1950s, their replacement by standard LT electric trains was imminent. Forward to the 1970s again, and this is Trent Junction near Nottingham. This time the Class 56 would have been virtually brand new. Class 20s number 20075 and 20076, also at Trent. Another Class 20, this one was number 20178. and 20076 again, followed by a Class 31 number 31281. Never a popular design with engine crews, the 31s have survived all and sundry by surviving well into the 1990s. Class 27, number 27017, is seen at Mallaig in the northwest of Scotland. Having picked up its train, it's now seen leaving for Fort William. Still in Scotland, this is Newtile in 1962. The Class 26 was later to become number 26039. This Class 20 is seen at Brechin. And again on the Inverbervie branch. Class 27 was at Arrochar. The rail bus was filmed near Stirling. This Class 06, a 1958 Barclay 040 design, had a brake horsepower of 204. It's seen at Inverness. Engines on Fort William shed. And this Class 27 was at Ballachulish. Behind a Class 20 at Lossiemouth. Rail bus at Elgin had come in from Craigellachie. the North British Class 29 was also at Elgin, on a train bound for the North Coastline via Cullen and Port Soy. Oxford, and this is Western Lady, one of the Class 52 diesel hydraulics to survive into preservation. Western Pathfinder again, this time in blue. And D1010 Western Campaigner leaving Cainton. At this time in the mid-1970s, the Class 52s were used on many of the West Country expresses. Initial problems class had been ironed out, and by now they were giving good reliability. Sadly, it proved to be an Indian summer for the class, and standardization meant that all would be gone by February 1977. Here we see D1022 Western Sentinel at Mitcham. Sister locomotive D1021 Western Cavalier at Hale. Also at Hale, D1069 Western Vanguard. At the time of producing this video, milk trains are once again planned to run on British Railways. This one behind D1067 Western Druid was filmed in the summer of 1975 when milk was still transported daily by rail. Some more Westerns. Firstly, Western Advocate at Theale. Also at Theale, Western Trooper. Back at Mitcham, this is Western Consort. Western Glory at Bedworth. Western Monitor arriving at Reading. Also at Reading, one of the last members of the cast to receive the corporate blue livery, D1056 Western Sultan. The ill-fated 1055 Western Advocate, which crashed near Worcester. Western Thunderer, leaving Plymouth. Western Emperor, also at Plymouth. And Western Thunderer again. Some years earlier at Reading, this is D1040 Western Queen. The High-Met was also seen at Reading. And this is another blue Pullman, still at Reading. One of the green warships. By 1973, all the remaining blue Pullmans were painted in this predominantly grey livery. This one is seen arriving at Paddington. Class 52 also arrived at Paddington. It was April 1973. The blue Pullmans ended their days on Paddington-Bristol trains. Here are some shots taken in Berkshire during their final weeks in service. Some electric locomotives passing Harrow and Wealdstone Station, scene of the horrific accident in October 1952. The green diesel multiple unit was filmed at Snow Hill Station in Birmingham. And 10201 was across the city at New Street. another green DMU, this one at Birmingham New Street. The 10100 was a Feld diesel mechanical locomotive built in 1951. It had a relatively short working life, mainly on the Midland Main Line, and by the late 1950s could be seen dumped out of service at Derby. Also at Derby we see some of the Metrovic Cobos. Like the Class 29s, these locomotives were highly unsuccessful and had a short working life. They were powered by a two-stroke Crossley diesel engine. Also in the picture we see some Bovo Class 24s. Stetchford during the diversions due to mainline electrification. By this time many of the West Coast expresses were Class 40 hauled. The Class 40s were introduced in 1958. They had a tractive effort of 52,000 pounds and a total brake horsepower of 2,000. One 16-cylinder English electric engine powered 6 traction motors. Class 33 number 33210 is seen here bringing the Pullman stock into London's Victoria Station. This engine once Class 24 number 24061, but by the time this shot was taken, it was a departmental locomotive. Class 35 Hymic diesel hydraulic number D7028 was seen at Maidenhead. One Class 40 and 3 Delphics were all taken at Sandy in Bedfordshire. Coco DC Electric number 27001. Although a very successful design, this class of locomotives were considered surplus to requirements and were all sold to Holland. And this was one of the smaller Bovo DC Electrics at Dinting. Also on the Manchester-Sheffield DC Electric line could be seen these 3-car electric multiple unit sets. They work between Manchester and Hadfield and Gloucester. Bedford. This is a Class 45P. A pair of Class 25s. rather peaked. And one which carried the name 3rd Carabinier. It was numbered D99. By the mid-1980s, most of the Class 25s had been withdrawn. Those remaining in service were much sought after for working special trains. This one is seen on the down line at Birksville near Coventry. The Class 31 was at Burbage Common on the Nuneaton to Leicester line. And Class 50 number 50013 was near Kenilworth. As was this Class 47 with a down train. In the mid-1980s, closure notices appeared on the Settle to Carlisle line. Happily, the proposed closure was defeated. This is 47429 at Settle in 1986. Fertiliser trains from Aitken Street were propelled back to Grendon Underwood Junction on the former Great Central by Class 31s. At Grendon Underwood, they changed direction and went forward via Quainton Road and Aylesbury. This one is just south of Grendon Underwood on the former GC. This pair of Class 20s were about to leave Bedlam Lane near Coventry for Towton. Today, this scene has changed beyond recognition. Not only have the box and level crossing disappeared, but Bedlam Lane itself no longer exists. A few miles nearer Coventry, these shots of 25313 on snowplough duties were taken at Cowden Road crossing. Class 40 diesel and a Black 5 steam engine near Marston Green on the Coventry to Birmingham line. And now, 3 warship diesel hydraulics, interrupted only by a green Class 31, all at Birmingham New Street Station. They showed all 3 liveries worn by the D800s, blue, red and green. Class 50 number D424 wasn't a year old when captured on film at Preston. She was later to be named Vanguard. A Class 40 on the Up Royal Scot, south of Crewe. Class 81 electric number D3013. These AEI locomotives were first introduced in 1959. A shot of the prototype Deltic passing Weedon Junction in 1958. And another green warship, this time at Snow Hill Station. Western Enterprise again, also at Snow Hill. a Blue Peak at Normanton. And a Class 31 at Birmingham New Street. Also at Birmingham New Street Station, we see this Stanier Black 5 steam locomotive hauling a failed DMU. The boot was on the other foot here, but this time diesel hauled steam. Bescot in the early days of electrification. This is a Class 85. One wonders if any of the cars behind this Class 47 are still in action today. The locomotive quite possibly is. And an inspector's saloon behind a Class 24. Both of these shots were taken at Snow Hill. This shot was taken at Lichfield. It shows another trainload of brand new cars. More shots of electrics on the West Coast Main Line. Firstly, another shot taken at Lichfield. And two more taken at Rugeley. High-Mech number D7052 was at Wolverhampton Low-Level Station. And the Class 37 was hauling a Bournemouth York train on the Great Central Line south of Woodford House. York. This Class 45 Peak heading south out of the station was number D107. Class 40 number D220, also of York. And Deltic D9016, the Gordon Highlander. Class 40 number D243 is seen at Edge Hill, near Liverpool. This Class 50 was on the Up Royal Scot at Acton Bridge. another 50 also at Acton Bridge. This one was D423. A pair of Class 50s, numbers 408 and 429. The Gordon Highlander again, this time at Sandy. And Nimbus, also at Sandy. Nimbus again. This pair of Class 24 were at Barmouth, preparing to take a return Merrymaker service back to England. Western Viscount at Reading. And the 37 hauling this EMU set was filmed at Bletchley. Also at Bletchley, we see this Class 24. And an 08 shunter being passed by a bubble car. The Class 23, or Baby Deltic, was at Derby in 1974. Also at Derby was this pairing of a Class 25 and a Class 45 peak on a passageway. Attenborough, on the line between Derby and Nottingham. This pair of 20s were filmed in the June of 1974. On the same day, at the same location, we see one of the original Class 44 peaks, number 44003 Skiddaw. This pair of Class 20s were at Tamworth High Level. Class 45 was just south of the station. We end Volume 3 back at Bletchley in 1988 as D200, still in undercoat, makes its way north on this special working to the National Railway Museum at York.